going to talk about multiply polynomial. Okay. So first, remember the rule, the product rule. X to the m times x to the n equal to x to the m plus n. So when they multiply, they're the same base. You keep the base and you add the two exponents here. You add the exponents. Okay. So let's try to do this. Okay, together. Okay. So 2x to the second power times 3x to the fifth power. Okay. So what would that be? So over here, you multiply the number first. Okay. So you multiply the number here. 2 times 3 makes 6. So we have 6. And then x to the second times x to the fifth over here. So that will be x to the 7. Okay. So this is like 2 times 3. And then this part over here, it is x to the second times x to the fifth power. You add the two exponents. Okay. Okay, number 2. It's very similar. You multiply the numbers, right? Because multiplication is commutative and associative. So you can multiply any order you want. So you multiply this two number first in front, okay? And then the A over here, and then the B over here, okay? 1/5 times 25, it is what? It is 5, right? So it is 5, okay. A times A to the third, it is A to the 4 power, right? Okay, so A to the 4 power. And then B squared times B, it is B to the third power. So you keep the base, you add the exponent. Exponent of this B over here is 1, okay? Okay, so when the exponent is 1, usually people don't write a 1 at this corner. Now, next, we're going to talk about, we try to distribute, okay? Multiply this, say, monomial with a trinomial, okay? Then we need to distribute. So this vector is going to take turn to multiply every turn inside this parenthesis, okay? It's like when you watch a basketball game, right? If someone win, and then he's going to take turn to high five maybe the team, okay? So think about like that. So it's going to high five each one inside this parenthesis, each turn in the parenthesis, okay? You can also, sometimes the polynomial that you distribute over here could be also at the end. So this monomial here could be at the end. And you will take turn to use this monomial to times every turn inside this parenthesis, okay? Now, this is one example. So over here, this is one single turn. So it's a monomial. And this inside here, it is a trinomial. It has 3 turns. So I'm going to take this monomial and distribute. Take turn to high five each turn inside the parenthesis, okay? So this one times this one. Let's try to do it together. You guys can shout out the answer. This one times this one, what would this be?
5a to the third power.
Third power. Second power, first power, add together is third power.
Yeah, and then b is to the fourth power, and then c is to the fifth power.
C to the fifth. Yes, you got it. Okay, so you add the exponent. So c to the first times c to the fourth is c to the fifth. 1 plus 4 make 5. Okay. So similarly, you use this to times the second term. So you get, first, you get this -2 times 5, it is -10. And then a squared times a squared is a to the 4. B times b is b squared. C times c to the 4 is c to the fifth power. Okay. And the last one, 3 times 5 make 15. So 15. A times a squared is a cubed. B times b is b squared. And then c to the 4 here. Okay, there's no c here. So c to the 4 over here. Okay. So that's how you do it. Okay. So you multiply this monomial with this trinomial. So you take this one, take turn to multiply every turn inside this parenthesis. Okay. Now we're going to multiply a binomial with a binomial. Okay, like this one. Okay. So you're going to distribute this term by term. So you take the first term over here, and then you distribute. Okay. And then after that, you take the second term, this one, and you distribute. So you're going to distribute term by term. Okay. So take the first one over here and then distribute here times the 2x over here. 3x times 2x here, it is 6x squared. Okay, so over here you multiply this first term of this binomial times the first term of this binomial. So it's first times first, so that's the first. Okay, and then now you take this to times this. 3x times 5 make 15x. Notice that this is an outer, and this is the outer term. Those are the outer, okay, in this expression. So 3x and 5, they are in the outer. So outer times outer, so it's out. Now this, and then now you take this 1 and distribute. So 1 times 2x is 2x. Notice that they are the inner one. So inner. And the last one, we use 1 times 5. Those are this is the last term in this binomial. This is the last term in this binomial. We multiply them. Okay, so it's last. So if you take the first word of this FOIL, that's spelled foil. Okay. So so in America, some school they call this the foil method. Okay. So basically it's just distributing that term by term. Okay. Now, when you do that, and notice that this outer and inner, these two over here are like terms. So you can combine them and by adding the coefficient. So you get 17x over here. And then these two will remain the same. So that will be the result. So some people call that the foil method. Okay. Okay. Great. Okay, now let's try to do another one. Okay, this binomial times this binomial. Let's fold this up. Okay. So first, right, this one times this one. What do we get? Everyone?
18a squared and b to the 4th power.
A squared b to the 4th power. We got it. Good. Okay. And now we take this one times the second one. Now this one times this second one here. What happened to this 6? They will cancel out, right? Cancel out. I actually put it on this side. So this one times this one over here. The 6 will cancel out, giving you 5ab squared. Okay. So you have this adding 5ab squared. Okay. Now I finished distributing this. Now I take this one and distribute. Okay. So take this one times this first one. So negative 1/3 times 3ab squared. The 3 here cancel, giving you negative ab squared. Okay. So you get this negative ab squared. And then finally, negative 1/3 times positive 5, 6. So it's negative 5 on top. 1 times 5 is 5. And the 3 times 6 is 18. So this is negative 5 over 18. Okay. Then finally, these two are nitrogens. We can combine them. Combine these two, you get 4ab squared, right? So you got 4ab squared. And then up here, you have this. Okay. So the first term, oh, I made a mistake here. Okay, this is to the 4th power. Okay. Okay, so this term doesn't change. This doesn't change. Okay. And then this one, combine them, you get 4ab squared. Okay. So that's how you multiply binomial with binomial. Okay. Now we're going to multiply binomial with trinomial. So 2 terms times 3 terms. Okay. Or 3 terms times 2 terms. Okay. So when you have this trinomial times binomial, somehow for me, it is just a little bit easier to distribute this. Okay, so I'm going to take the shorter one, the binomial, the one that has shorter, they have less terms. So binomial has less terms, only 2 terms. This one has 3 terms. So I normally take this one and distribute. So I take the first term of this binomial and take term to multiply each term in this trinomial. So 4a squared times 6a squared give me
24a to the 4th power.
Yes, you got it. 24a to the 4th power, and then this times that, negative 20a to the 3rd power. This times that, 16a to the 2nd power. Okay, so we're then distributing this. Now we're going to take this negative 3 in this binomial and distribute. So that is going to take change to multiply it with each term inside this parenthesis. That times this, we're going to get, this times this is negative 18a squared. This one, negative 3 times this, negative 5a. Negative times negative is positive, so it's positive 15, and then that's an a over here, okay? And then this negative 3 times positive 4 is negative 12. After this, you just need to combine like terms, okay? And you like to put them in the order from highest power of a to the lowest power of a. So this one has a high power of a. We put this one first, okay? So this one will go first. A to the 3rd power will be this, and then this two combine, you get negative 2a squared, and then this 15a minus 12. Okay, are you guys good? Because I assume that you already have the note. I might go a little bit too fast. Okay, so now over here, this one here you have a monomial, 1 term, times a binomial, 2 term, and times another binomial, 2 term. Okay. Now, when you have this kind of expression, it will be easier to multiply this to binomial first, because that way it's a little bit simpler. Okay. Because if you multiply this monomial with this binomial, you're going to make this it's going to get a binomial that will have the term will be more complicated, and later on multiply with this binomial is make it even more complicated, right? So it is better that you multiply this to binomial first, and then later multiply with this monomial later. Okay, so let's multiply this to binomial first. So a times 3a give me 3a squared. A times negative 8b give me negative 8ab. 6b times 3a, we get 18ab. 6b times negative 8b, we get negative 48b squared, right? Now, any like term to combine?
And the 2 middle ones?
Yeah, the 2 middle ones. Okay. So we get 10, right? 10ab, because negative 8 plus 18, it is 10. So combine the coefficient, we get 10, and then ab. Now this one here, it is 3a squared, and then this is negative 48b squared. Now after that, you are going to distribute this 5ab inside this parenthesis. So that times this give me 15a to the 3rd b. This times that give you this. This times that give you this. Okay. You guys tell me to slow down a little bit if you guys need more time. Okay.